Good day everyone, we are the Group 5 and we will discuss Chapter 19 entitled Design for Quality and Product Excellence. I am Alison Bianca de la Cruz together with Geraldine Abracia, Avri Sagun, Marico Mena, and Adrian Mano. After discussing this topic, a student should be able to discuss the process of product development, technical requirements, and the specification of detailed design. Explain the concept development and innovation, discuss how to design for reliability and how verification conducted. So let's start now with the product development. So product development is the process of conceptualizing, designing, developing, and marketing newly created or rebranded goods or services. So ibig sabihin nito ay nakapaloob sa product development yung entire journey ng isang product mula sa pagbuo ng idea hanggang sa mailabas to sa market. So most companies have some type of structured product development process and usually it consists 6 phases. So these are the idea generation, preliminary concept development, product or process development, full-scale production, market introduction, and market evaluation. So idea generation is a purposeful search for new product development opportunities. So in this phase, it typically involves developing a list of ideas or multiple versions of a single idea to be tested. It entails steps such as identifying criteria for selecting the best one, listing all ideas, selecting the most appropriate one from the list, and then developing that idea to make it usable. So from the word itself, idea generation, yung mga organization ay hindi lang dapat mag-generate ng basta ideas, but instead creative or innovative ideas, especially in today's fast-changing world, in order to expand the range of ideas beyond the current range of thinking na meron yung mga companies. The second is preliminary concept development. So in this phase naman, the new ideas generated in the first phase will be studied and evaluated if it's viable to address questions such as, will the product meet customers' requirements? And can it be manufactured economically with high quality? So in preliminary concept development naman, it can help the company para ma-evaluate yung reactions ng customers bago pa to i-launch or ilabas sa market. So next is the third phase, the product or process development. So dito na magi-start yung actual design process if may suitable idea na from the second phase. So this phase consists of prototyping. It means that a company will create a finished product that can be used as a sample for mass production. So several versions of a product will be created during this phase hanggang sa masatisfy and makuha niyo yung final sample product. Next is yung full-scale production. So in this phase naman, kapag na-approve na yung design ng product, i-release na ng company yung final product na yon sa manufacturing or service delivery teams. Then market introduction. So in this phase, the product will be distributed na sa mga customer. Then last is the market evaluation. So dito na papasok yung customer feedbacks, which is very important sa mga sa isang product development process because it allows companies to get closer to their target audience while also initiating continuous improvements para doon sa product. So, concurrent engineering is a process in which all major functions involved with bringing a product to market are continuously involved with product development from conception through sales. So, isa siyang process ng pag-develop and pag-design ng product kung saan yung iba't ibang departments ng different phases ng product development ay nagjo-join force para makapag-create ng quality na product. So this approach not only helps in the smooth introduction of products and services, but nakakatulong din siya para ma-improve yung quality ng product, para makapag-reduce ng costs, and para mas mapabilis or ma-shorten yung cycle ng product development. Design for Six Sigma represent a structured approach to product development and a set of tools and methodologies for ensuring that goods and services will meet customer needs and achieve performance objectives. So, it is a method to new product or process development in that multiple methodologies can be used to make sure na yung product is mamimit yung customer needs and para ma-fulfill din yung specific goal and ma-achieve yung high level ng quality. So, yung approach na to is very helpful para sa mga engineers and designers to convert customer requirements into design concepts, concepts into detailed design, and detailed design into well-manufactured products or efficient services. So, design for Six Sigma consists of four principal activities. So, first is concept development. It focuses on creating and developing a product idea and determining its functionality based on customers' needs, technological capabilities, and economic resources. Second is detailed design. This is where the design is concentrated, as well as the plans, specification, and design parameters are developed para ma-make sure na yung product is ma-fulfill yung required functionality or design criteria ng concept. Third is design optimization. This is to enhance the design of the product para ma-identify and maiwasan yung mga possible failures and to achieve consistency and to ensure that they can be easily manufactured, assembled, or delivered in an environmentally responsible way. So last is design verification. This is to make sure na yung quality and requirements ng products ay na-meet and reliable. So the design output should match the design inputs. So design for Six Sigma implementation is carried out using a variety of methodologies, and DMADV is one of the most common techniques. It means define, measure, analyze, design, and verify. So, define focuses on identifying and understanding the market need and opportunity. Measure focuses on understanding the needs and wants of the customer and then transforming them into measurable design requirements. Analyze focuses on the concept of development from the viewpoint of designers and engineers. Design focuses on detailed specification, purchasing needs, and detailed design work using modeling and preliminary drawings in order for the concept to be produced. And last is verify. In this phase, it involves the introduction of the product or process design and performs testing process to ensure that it meets customer and performance requirements. So, concept development and innovation. Concept development is a process of applying scientific, engineering, and business knowledge to produce a basic functional design that meets both customer need and manufacturing or service delivery requirements. So, concept development, hindi lang basta ito isang process para makabuo ng useful at effective design ng product na mamimit yung customer and manufacturing requirement. But also, nakakatulong din to para makapag-develop ng ideas to solve design problems. So, in developing new concept, innovation and creativity is required. So, these two are very confusing but they rely on each other and they are not the same. Every time you improve a process, an idea, and enhance or add value to a product, it means that you are innovating. Creativity naman, on the other hand, is when new ideas are implemented. So, brainstorming and brainwriting are two creativity tools that are intended to help adjust the context when a person encounters a problem or opportunity which leads to a new perspective. So next is detailed design. So detailed design focuses on establishing technical requirements and specification which represent the transition from a designer's concept to a producible design, while also ensuring that it can be produced economically, efficiently, and with a high quality. So as I mentioned earlier, in detailed design, this is where the design is concentrated or refined, as well as the plans, specification, and design parameters are developed para ma-make sure na yung product is ma-fulfill yung required functionality or design criteria ng concept. So next is axiomatic design. It is a methodology developed by Dr. Nam Su. So, it is a design technique that analyzes the transformation of customer needs into functional requirements, design parameters, and process variables in a systematic manner. So, dito sa methodology na to, ine-examine or ina-analyze nga yung transformation ng customer needs into functional requirements which should be done according to the fixed plan in a thorough and efficient way. So, a core concept of axiomatic design is that each design feature is founded on two axioms. The first one is the independent axiom. So this is important for the entire design and asserts the function requirements independence. So the requirement for independent function requirements will ensure a high quality product. The second one is the information axioms. This axiom is intended to reduce the design's information content. So given all the design that could meet the functional requirements, the one with the least amount of information will be the best option. However, these two axioms are very crucial in the design process because they guide and create the best possible product to achieve the desired functions.
Good day everyone, I am Adrian Magno and I will be discussing about the quality function deployment. A major problem with the traditional product deployment process is that the customers and engineers speak different languages. Technical requirements, sometimes called design characteristics, translate the voice of the customers into the technical language that provide a basis for design specifications such as dimensions and tolerance. Quality function deployment benefits companies primarily by ensuring they bring products to market that customers actually want. We all know na ang pagbibigay ng feedback coming from customer ay napakahalaga dahil dito natin malalaman kung ano ang mga bagay na gusto nilang ilagay sa product na pinaprovide ng company mo. After assessing the information, makakapag-create tayo ng isang report kung saan naka-include lahat dito ang mga request na specification ng ating mga customers. It is important to consider all of the suggestions of customer para sa ika-improve ng ating product and it will surely benefit your company. Quality function deployment, the term which is a translation of the Japanese kanji characters used to describe the process can sound confusing, but quality function deployment is simply a planning process to guide the design, manufacturing, and marketing of goods by integrating the voice of customer throughout the organization. So the quality functions deployment ay galing sa Japanese kanji characters na ang ibig sabihin ay planning process, manufacturing, and marketing of goods. Through quality function deployment, every design, manufacturing, and control decision is made to meet the express needs of customers. Quality function deployment uses a set of linked matrices to ensure that the voice of the customer is carried throughout the production delivery process. We all know that one of the main goals of every company is to satisfy every customer's need. Kaya mahalaga na we always provide quality products sa marketplace. And in order to do that, quality deployment function uses a set of link matrices to ensure that the voice of the customer is carried throughout the production and delivery process. So ano nga ba yung matrix na sinusunod natin? Ayan. Ito yung table ng mismong matrix. Let us proceed to target and tolerance design. After basis technical requirements have been established, designers must set specific dimensional or operational targets and tolerance for critical manufacturing or service characteristics. This might be based on product functionality that reflect the voice of the customer or other considerations such as safety. So after makakuha ng idea from customer, the designer and engineer start to develop their project, and in order to process that, they need to set operational target and tolerance for critical manufacturing dahil bawat figures ng isang product at kailangang dumaan sa test para ma-ensure natin na effectivity at hindi maiiwasan or at least malesen ng ang product defect. Nominal refers to the ideal dimension or the target value that manufacturing seeks to meet. Tolerance is the permissible variation recognizing the difficulty of meeting a target consistently. Tolerance are necessary because not all parts can be produce exactly to nominal specifications because of natural variations, common causes in production process due to the 5 Ms men and women, materials, machines, method, and measurements. Tagwishi loss function. Tagwishi measure quality as the variation from target value of the design a specification and then translate that variation into an economic loss function that express the cost of variation in monetary terms. In mathematical terms, Tagwishi assumes that losses can be approximated by a quadratic function so that larger deviations from target correspond to increasingly larger losses. Tagwishi loss function as the graphical depiction of loss to describe a phenomenon affecting the value of products produced by a company. It emphasizes the needs for incorporating quality and reliability at the design stage prior to production. So, Tagwishi loss function is the process wherein dito naka-emphasize yung mga incorporation ng quality, reliability ng design, and production.
So, as the overall quality of product continues to improve, mas ine-expect ngayon ng customers yung higher reliability ng bawat purchase nila. Kasi, importante of both product and process design, it also increase the use of automation, complexity of machines, yung low profit margins, and time-based competitiveness. Make reliability in production processes a critical issue for survival of the business. So, formally, ang reliability is defined as the probability of a product. It is a piece of equipment or system that performs its intended function for a stated period of time under specified operating conditions. So, ang reliability has 4 important elements, which is probability, time, performance, and operations. So, first, ang reliability is defined by probability. Yun ang value between 0 and 1. So, kaya numerical measure siya with a precise meaning. To make it simple, ang probability kasi, there is the chance that something will happen or merong event na mangyayari or occur. Nakakapag-provide ito ng information about the likelihood that something will happen. Halimbawa, natin dyan is yung mga meteorologists, for instance, they use weather patterns para ma-predict yung probability ng rain. So, same thing with business. They automatically see if there is something na some events may occur within the business or company. Ang second element naman ay ang time. Ibig sabihin lang nito, in terms of reliability, it is defined as a kind of probability that a system will perform its intended function or a specified period of time. So, for example, a reliability of 0.8 at 100 hours indicates that offers 100 hours. So, there's a 80% chance that the system is still functioning. Third naman is performance. Again, in terms of reliability, it is an aspect of performance that refers kung gaano ka-consistent yung project management software. Does what it's supposed to. For example, if yung project management software may isang oras para magpatakbo ng basic report, in that case, meron siyang performance issue. Final element natin ay ang operating conditions. Ito naman ay in charge for the entire system, kung saan dapat lang i-perform yung kanyang function for a specified period of time kapag mag-operating tayo sa design environment. So, sa theory daw, ang reliability is determined by the number of failures per unit time. So, yung ibang products must be scrapped and replaced upon failure. Others can be repaired. Pwede natin i-compute yung failure rate by testing or using a sample of items until lahat ng yun ay mag-fail. Marami din electronic components exhibit ay merong high failure rate early in their lives. So, ang life characteristic ng curve describes the pattern of random failures that occur during a product's useful life. Yung mga weak components nagre-resulta ng poor manufacturing or quality control kung saan will often lead to a high rate of failure early in its life. Yung mga ganyang klaseng components or products should not be permitted to enter the marketplace. System of components may be configured in series, in parallel, or in some mixed combination. Reliability data of individual components can be used to predict the reliability of the system at the design stage. Yung mga engineers, pwede nila gamitin yung mga reliability calculations para ma-predict yung performance and evaluate yung mga alternative designs. Meron din tayong tinatawag na redundancy. Ito ay nag-offer ng backup components that can be used when the failure of one component in a system can cause a failure of the entire system. So, redundancy is crucial to system in which failures can be extremely costly, katulad ng mga aircraft or satellite communication systems. So, in such, a system failure of an individual component is less critical than series system. So, pag-usapan naman natin ngayon ang robust design. So, it refers to designing goods and services that are insensitive to variation in manufacturing processes and when customers use them. Yung mga designers of products and processes ay dapat gumawa ng effort para mas ma-optimize nila yung kanilang designs. Yung robust design is facilitated by a design of experiments to identify yung optimal levels for nominal dimensions and other tools. Example natin dyan ay ang Ina Tile Company, isa itong Japanese ceramic tile manufacturer na nag-purchase a $2 million kiln. Ano siya? Para siyang chamber of a huge oven. Ganun, from West Germany in 1953. So, outside of the stock, si tiles had a different average size and more variation in dimension. The temperature was uncontrollable variable. So, dapat nila gawin is ma-achieve yung best design relative to a set of prioritized criteria. So, this includes maximizing factors such as yung productivity, yung strength, yung reliability, and longevity, and utilization ng isang product. So, meron din mga group of engineers, mga chemists, and other who were familiar with manufacturing process. So nag-brainstorm sila and ina-identify nila yung 7 major controllable variables that could affect the tile dimension. Una dyan ay ang limestone content. 2 is fitness of additive, content of agmaltolife, type of agmaltolife, raw material quantity, content of waste return, and content of feldspar.
So, design failure mode and effects analysis, or DFMEA in short, it is a systematic group of activities used to recognize and evaluate potential systems, products, or process failures. So, DFMEA identifies the effects and outcomes of these failures or actions. So, ginagamit itong method na to, the design failure mode and effects analysis, para ma-identify kung saan at kung kailan ito mag-fail. So, the FMEA method is extensively used in a variety of industries including semiconductor processing, food service, plastics, software, and healthcare. So, safety in consumer products represents a major issue in design and certainly an important part of a company's public responsibilities. All parties responsible for design, manufacture, sales, and service of a defective product are now liable for damages. So, when we say liable for damages, pananagutan nila kung ano man yung mga defective product or obligado sila according to law, responsible yung may-ari na sila ang mananagot para sa mga defective product. And according to the theory of strict liability, anyone who sells a product that is defective or unreasonably dangerous is subject to liability for any physical harm caused to the user, the consumer, or the property either. So, this law, yung batas na po na to ay applicable sa lahat ng mga seller. Kahit pa sinabi ng seller na galing sa mismong factory yung tinitinda niya, so hindi niya pwedeng sabihin sa consumer na sa factory siya magreklamo. So, si seller, unang-una yung product na ititinda niya ay dapat i-check muna niya isa-isa para if ever na may defect yung isang product, agad niya itong mapapalitan sa factory yung kinuhanan niya. So, sabi dito, a plaintiff need prove only that the product was defective. The defect was present when the product changed ownership. The defect resulted in injury. So, alam nyo ba, noong 1997, si Chrysler ay pinagbayad. So, he was ordered to pay $262.5 million sa kaso involving defective latches on minivans. So, the economic consequences can be significant. So, ganun kalaki yung kabawasan kapag hindi nila in-ensure yung safety in consumers' product. So, kaya rin meron tayong tinatawag na DFMEA para malaman ang effect and outcomes of these failures or action.
A firm should record all evidence that shows the designer established tests and monitoring procedures of critical product characteristics. So, feedback on tests and inspection results along with corrective action taken must also be documented. So, even the adequate packaging and handling procedures are not immune to examination in liability suits. So, because packaging is still within the manufacturer's span of control. So, managers should address the following questions like, is the product reasonably safe for the end user? What could possibly go wrong with it? Are any needed safety devices absent? What kind of warning labels or instructions should be included? What would attorneys call reasonably foreseeable use? Or what are some extreme climatic or environmental conditions for which the product should be tested? What similarities does the product have with others that may have encountered previous problems? So that's what a firm should consider when doing a test. So design failure mode and effects analysis, or the DFMEA, is also a tool for proactively addressing product risk, often simply called FMEA or failure mode effects analysis. So it was used by NASA in the 1960s. So failure modes and effects analysis, according to NASA, is a bottom-up analytical process which identifies hazards. It was also, DFMEA is also popular in the automotive industry during 1980s. So ito kasi yung method na gumagawa ng way para ma-look forward yung mga disenyo ng sasakyan. So, kumbaga sa production processes and test pa lang, alam na agad kung saang areas magpe-fail or when failures could occur. So, the FMEA is also used as a risk assessment tool, referring to it as fault mode and effects analysis. So, the Institute for Healthcare Improvement defines FMEA as a systematic, proactive method for evaluating a process to identify where and how it may fail and to assess the relative impact of different failures in order to identify the parts of the process that are most need of charge. So, di ba nga, the FMEA is extensively used in a variety of industries. So, kanina we have automotive industry. So, now we even have in healthcare. So, mayroong design, failure mode, and effects analysis din. The FMEA usually consists of specifying the following information for each design element or function. So first, failure modes. So ways in which each element or function can fail. So this information generally takes some research and imagination. So isang paraan para matukoy nila agad kung saan magfe-fail, magbe-base sila dun sa mga may unang karanasan na nag-fail. So gagamitin nila yung past failure para maging basis. So magsasaliksik sila tungkol sa nakaraang mga nag-fail, halimbawa sa automotive industry. So yung makina inassemble na pala ng ganoong way nung nakaraan and then nag-fail. So, hindi na nila gagawin yung way ng pag-assemble na yun kasi nag-fail na nga nun. And then, next is effect of the failure on the customer. So, such as dissatisfaction, potential injury, or other safety issue, downtime, repair requirements, and so on. So, syempre, sino ba naman magiging masaya pag nakatanggap sila ng produkto na may sira, kulang, at palpak yung pagkakamanufacture. So, syempre, may mga epekto yan sa customer. And then, next is the severity, likelihood of occurrence, and detection rating. So these are subjective ratings best done by a cross-functional team of experts. So the severity rating is based on how serious the impact would be if the potential failure were to occur. And then occurrence, which rates the likelihood that the failure will occur. And then detection, which rates the likelihood that the problem will be detected before it reaches the end user customer. So the lower the value, the lower the risk. So usually mga experts yung gumagawa ng ratings po na yan. So next is the potential causes of failure. So often failure is a result of poor design. Design deficiencies can cause errors either in the field or in manufacturing and assembly. So ganun pala kahalaga yung pagde-design. Design pa lang, kailangan effective na sa lahat ng result. So kailangan accurate yung materials na gagamitin, may mga maintenance instructions na susundin, may correct algorithm, and may environment protection, and so on. So, ganun katindi sa pagde-design pa lang. So, isipin nyo halimbawa, nakakita pa lang tayo ng kotse, kahit simpleng kotse lang. Yung design niya, akalain natin simple lang, simple in physical appearance, pero dumaan pala siya sa mabusising pagde-design bago pa siya mailabas o mabili ng customer. Next is corrective actions or controls. So, these controls might include design changes, mistake proofing, better user instructions, management responsibilities, and target completion dates. So, itong corrective action, siya yung nag-fix ng mga existing problems or non-conformance or mga hindi pagsunod. So, after a DFMEA is completed, the organization should take corrective and preventive action to avoid the potential failures in the design or process. So, corrective actions appear in response to an error, while preventative actions may occur before one. So, fault tree analysis. fault tree analysis, or the FTA, sometimes called cause and effect tree analysis, is a method to describe combinations of conditions or events that can lead to a failure. So in effect, it is a way to drill down and identify causes associated with failures and is a good complement to the FMEA. So it is particularly useful for identifying failures that occur only as a result of multiple events occurring simultaneously. So FTA po is a graphical tool to explore the causes of system-level failures. So isang tool din po ito na nag-analyze din ng mga potential failures, usually mga machine failures. So the process is by graphically and mathematically representing the system itself, and usually done by the engineers. So next is the design for manufacturability. So product design can significantly affect the cost of manufacturing, direct and indirect labor, materials, and overhead. The design, warranty, and field repair, the efficiency by which the product can be manufactured, and the quality of the output. So designers must pay particular attention to cost, quality, and manufacturability in order to meet price targets that customers are willing to pay. So simplifying designs can often improve both cost and quality. Mercedes-Benz, for example, saw its global leadership decline behind BMW and Lexus because of high cost and degrading quality. So, ayun, dahil nga nangunguna tong Mercedes sa paggamit ng mga technology sa kanilang binubuong sasakyan, so talagang meron silang mga electronic system na kailangan integrated at mag-function together. So, sa sobrang hirap ng ginagawa nila sa part na yon, kasi nga puro technology built yung makina nila. So, ngayon nakaisip yung engineers na mag-design ng bagong electronics for each model. So, nagdagdag sila ng gastos at effort. So, yung isa sa mga tiningnan ng company is ma-improve yung design. Ma-improve yung design. So, napakahalaga talaga ng design. So, naisip nilang gawin yung design less complex cars similar to what BMW did. So, using electronics architectures with common components. So, nag-improve sila by cutting the number of parts, material cost generally go down, and then inventory levels fall, the number of supplier swings, and production time can be shortened. So, maraming changes before ma-build yung isang design. Many aspects of product design can adversely affect manufacturability and hence quality. Many industries have developed more specific guidelines. So, for example, guidelines for designing printed circuit boards that includes placing all components on the top side of the board, grouping similar components whenever possible, and last, maintaining a 0.60-inch clearance for insert-able components. So, even the computers, so yung pagbuo sa kanila from the smallest part ay naka-design din. So, next is the design and environmental responsibility. So, environmental concerns have an unprecedented impact on product and process designs. So, hundreds of millions of home and office appliances are disposed each year. The problem of what to do with obsolete computers is a growing design and technological waste problem today. So, pressures from environmental groups clamoring for socially responsive designs. So, states and municipalities are running out of space for landfills, and consumers who want the most for their money all cause designers and managers to look carefully at the concept of design for environment, or DFE. So, DFE is the explicit consideration of environmental concerns during the design of products and processes. And it includes such practices as designing for recyclability and disassembly. So, sa sobrang dami nga ng mga naiimbentong design, yung iba ay makabenta lang ng mga produkto, mga appliances, ang ending sobrang baba ng mga quality at madaling masira at itatapon na lang. So, ang maapektuhan ay yung ating environment, yung kapaligiran. So, at dahil sa mga cases na ganyan, nakaisip yung mga concern sa environment tungkol sa concept ng DFE, or Design for Environment. So, sa pag-design, kailangan i-consider yung ating environment. And then, kapag yung isang company, responsibility na nila yung environmentally friendly yung design nila. So, many products are discarded simply because of the cost of maintenance or repair is too high when compared with the cost of a new item. So, now design for disassembly promises to bring back easy, affordable product repair. So, ngayon, may mga innovation na. For example, sa Whirlpool Corporation, so, nag-develop sila ng bagong appliance design for repairability. So, with its parts sorted with easy coding, so repairability has the potential of pleasing customers who would prefer to repair a product rather than discard it. So, at the same time, companies are challenged to consider fresh approaches to design that build both cost effectiveness and quality into the product. So, nagkaroon ng alternative for an entirely new design na mag-eliminate para sa mga need for fasteners in the first place. So, kasi nga, nakita nila yung mga tao na mas pipiliin na lang itapon yung appliances kaysa ipagawa. So, ang naapektuhan sa katatapon natin mga appliances is yung environment. So, ang ginawa ng Whirlpool Corporation, nag-innovate nga sila. For them, innovations made to keep the day moving. So, konting kaalaman po, ang Whirlpool Corporation ay sumikat dahil sa sila yung kauna-unahang nag-introduce ng automatic washing machine noong 1948 at nanalo ng more than 20 CS Innovation Awards. So, that's all for my report.